What's going on, good people? We back for a quick episode, real quick. Of a I forgot what our damn podcast is called. That's crazy. Shot of Sports Podcast. What's going on, C?
It's been that long, huh? What's
It's
going
been
on,
that
people?
long. It's been that long. It's been that long. How's everything been going, though, bro?
Good, man. I checked out some high school basketball this weekend, and
Who'd you go see?
I went to Saint X LaSalle. Went to a GCL game. It was actually better than expected, and I went to
Of
go
course you didn't
see.
go. Of course you didn't go check out the C-Mac. I knew it. I knew it. I knew you ain't go see a C-Mac game, man.
You ain't let me finish. I
Go
went to
ahead.
go
Go ahead.
see
Okay.
Hughes versus Northwest.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that counts, but
My
okay.
homeboy, his son plays for Northwest. He's a really good player in the city, and then of course
Okay.
repping my Big Red. So
Facts.
two
Facts.
solid games,
Facts.
entertaining.
Facts. So we're gonna be back on Wednesday again. Definitely gonna be back on Wednesday to kind of talk a little bit
Hopefully.
more in depth shot. Don't listen to him. Some in depth shot, but we got to do some. We got to do some quick takes. Let's start off with the AD Luca trade, bro. How you feeling? We both Laker fans now.
I was out celebrating my cousin's birthday yesterday, and it broke on the TV. I'm like, man, the Jeezy was playing and the tequila was flowing. I'm like, nah, this can't be real. I'm like, Shams was hacked. I woke up today, and it ain't no retraction. So this really happened. This is literally a blockbuster trade. This is a video game trade we just saw in
Yep.
real life.
Yep. For sure.
Um, do I like Luca? Never been a fan. Guess I have to be now. Did either team get better? Not particularly. Um, I'm interested to see what else Rob Palinka got going on. Because if he did this, there's something else coming down the pike. And
So for
40,
me,
40,000 40K man might be on his way out too.
so for me, this is first of all, I've never been a Luka Doncic ever.
No,
I've never been a Luka fan. He reminds me so much of James Harden. Just a white Caucasian version. But
Luka Doncic,
yeah,
James
no,
Harden.
he's no play, plays no defense. His condition is a problem. But I've always recognized that he's a top five player in the NBA. So I am excited though, surprisingly. Just because this is really Rob's first move that did not have anything to do with LeBron since he's been the GM. It's been a long time. Where he didn't consult LeBron. He didn't. It had nothing to do with him. Because remember when LeBron basically kind of just landed in Rob Lincoln's lap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, him and Magic. I mean, they were just kind of gifted LeBron James, and then from there, every move that has been made by the Laker organization, I believe LeBron James has signed off on. This move has nothing to do with LeBron James. This was all Rob Pelinka. So I want to give Rob Pelinka a hand clap for finally doing something on his own. I want to give him a hand clap, which also means that we're moving away from potentially the LeBron James era in LA. I think that's
That deserves a hand clap.
that it's it's overdue. Because I don't think anybody's going to question whose team this is going forward. It's Luca's team. Luca is the better player at this point in his career. Um, and I think this is going to be Luca's team. I think it's going to be built around Luca. Um, Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we'll see. One thing I will give Luca credit for is I don't think he's ever really had personnel decision where he's actually putting in uh, his feelings on the personnel and what's going on. So I'm excited to see what they do going forward. I really am. Um, but it's a new day in LA. And as we know, Golden State called about LeBron James last year, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Hey,
So I expected.
my guy Jonathan Come Bucket Kaminga. Hey, come on down, buddy.
Stop calling him that. But I would be completely open to Dylan Brown to Golden State. For Andrew Wiggins has an expiring contract coming up.
No, no, no,
I just want it for the expiring contract.
no.
Just for the expiring contract because the Laker brand plus cap space, I think you can sign somebody to play alongside Luka.
Hey
And
man,
then obviously
give me.
you get Kuminga. And obviously no, it's not gonna be just straight for Wiggins. It will be for Wiggins, Kuminga, and probably picks.
Nah, just give me Cum Bucket and Trace Jackson. We good. I don't need none. We good. Take
Why
it.
do you always want these bums, bro?
I get Buddy off my team. I get youth and athleticism. Well, last time we saw Luka with youth and athleticism, they went to the finals. So I think the biggest thing about this trade, I mean, clearly it's the Luka AD moving, but we've seen one of the worst offensive players in NBA history, Rudy Gobert, go for 4 first-round picks. And a guy I'm a true fan of, Mikal Bridges, go for 5 first-round picks. We got Luka for 1. That's insane.
It is insane. It is insane, but I think it speaks more to Jaseel is a Dallas. He is a Dallas Maverick fan. What's going on, bro? I know you hurting today. Yeah, I'm doing my own podcast, Shannon. What's up, bro? But yeah, but I don't know if I feel like we need another star besides. You need another star. You need another star besides to help balance him out because I think that's what Kyrie did for him last year.
But now I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Lakers gotten pretty light in the last year with JJ Redick under Redick. Reeves, Connect, Luka. Now Maxi Kleber. We're a little light. We're a little light.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. Cole Connect, Reeves, yeah, Luke. Maxi Kleber now. Oh yeah.
We're a little light. So
yeah.
Some moves got to be made because
it's looking real dukish.
Yeah, we looking like the Los Angeles Dukes. Okay, like this is I don't know what's going on, but I
didn't even think about that. I didn't think about that, but they gonna get some brothers up in there. They gonna get some brothers up in there. I'm not worried about that. But I like you said though. I don't think this moves the needle a ton for this season. I don't see whether we keep LeBron or not. I don't think the Lakers win a championship this year. I think the Lakers long term, it's huge. I mean, obviously, you make the. I saw somebody asking, why would you make this deal? But if you're the Lakers, he's a 31 year. You're talking about a 31-year-old guy who's had a history of lower extremity injuries versus a guy in Luka Doncic who's 25 years old. I mean, this is a no brainer. This is a no brainer.
Now, what is Luka's status for the rest of this year?
He's ramping up right now. I've been watching SportsCenter for like the last 2 hours. He's been ramping up, which I never do on a Sunday. He's been ramping up for the last few weeks. So I'm guessing that they'll probably hold him out until after the All-Star break, which I think will be the smart thing, with the because with the strained calf thing, that could turn into something else.
And I think now again, devil's advocate, 40-year-old Bron, I think a few weeks with him, Luka can see how to work out, what it takes. Now, I'm not saying he about to be a workout warrior like 40-year-old man, because again, nobody's the athlete ever that LeBron is, but he can get some tips and he can get on the Stairmaster for a few minutes. Just do something like that. It'd be all right.
That's the only thing that I would want if we were to keep LeBron is to have Luka around Bron to get him to understand the importance of taking care of his body. Because that's the only question mark is with him is literally his conditioning. Like getting his conditioning together has got to be number one. Everything else I think you can work on. Like obviously giving you a little bit more effort on defense, that just comes with you just wanting to win. and playing off the ball. I would love for him to play off the basketball just a little bit more, but I feel like he did a little bit of that with Kyrie last year. So that's not something that I really, really worry too much about. He showed the ability to do that. His defense is probably more of a problem. I think that kind of goes with his conditioning.
But at the same time, so again, just looking at the current makeup of the Lakers roster, Rui can start at the 4. Vando can now come in at the 5. Jackson Hayes can make more of an impact at the 5. So
You still on this Jackson Hayes kick? I know he the hometown kid, but I ain't worried about Jackson Hayes.
he's young JaVale McGee.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I thought you was gonna compare him to Lively or somebody like that, but you with JaVale, don't do that, bro.
Hey man, we need athleticism and effort. Jackson Hayes can do
Don't
both.
do that. How does it? How would you say that this affects the math? Talked about a lot about the Lakers. What about the math?
I don't like this moves for the Mavs. I don't. You got 3 injury prone stars on one team.
I mean, they had that already, though, didn't they? I mean, Luka
Yeah,
ain't always.
Luka's not injury prone though.
You're right. He actually is an injury prone. He's just always out of shape.
He's
Let me
just out
take
of
that back.
shape. But at KD, Kyrie, or I'm sorry, Kyrie and AD, that's a solid. That could work out on paper, but in real life, I don't think it's gonna work out. I just don't see it working out.
I think what they basically did was they keep their window open for 2 or 3 seasons. But I think it is somewhat of an indictment. It's got to be an indictment on Luka at this point. While I'm excited to get Luka, this is definitely an indictment on Luka. You don't see a guy, you don't see teams trade a guy at 25 years old who's universally known to be a top 5 player in his prime who wants to be there. Typically, this happens if there's some type of contract dispute or a guy's just pissed off about the pieces around him. We've seen guys, jump ship to other locations. Luka's done none of that. He's basically said he wanted to be a Maverick his entire career. So for this to happen, this is definitely an indictment on Luka. And hopefully it motivates him. I'm hoping it motivates the heck out of him. Because at this point, with his type of resume, it's like, bro, what's going on that a team was this willing to move off of you? And mind you, we didn't give up a lot. We gave up a first round pick and Anthony Davis. I get AD is a top 10-ish player and is a probably a top 2 or 3 two-way player in the game. But Luka is Luka. And
wait, we gonna disrespect Max Christie? Like he not nothing?
Yes, we're gonna disrespect Max Christie.
This podcast is getting out of hand, man. We do a lot of disrespect out here.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. But yeah, they and we even got Cleveland back. I actually like Cleveland. I'm actually a Cleveland fan. I think Cleveland, he's gonna defend, he can defend multiple positions, he can space the floor.
No, he can't defend. He can shoot.
Cleveland can defend, bro. Don't do that. You do that. Don't do that.
No, he can shoot.
He's not an elite defender. He's not an elite.
I'm glad we have a tall shooter. That's all. He's a tall shooter. Stop that he can defend.
But like I said,
his foot speed is on par with Rudy Gobert. He's not defending nothing. He can shoot.
Rudy Gobert is. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go into that with you. He hates Rudy Gobert, by the way. But
I like Marquise Morris though. I think that's if he actually plays and not just.
When was the last time Marquise Morris was anything in the league? Boston?
He ain't played. Like he ain't got.
No, actually, let me take that back. That was Marcus that was nice in Boston. When was Marquise for anything? Mook was the one in Boston that was cooking.
I think he could be something. He just ain't got on the court.
Nah, buddy, he collecting checks at this point, bro. That was a throw in. But like I said, to get Luka what we got him for, that was actually pretty impressive. That was pretty impressive because I was expecting us to have to come off of both of those first rounders for sure.
5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. Luka goes for 1.
But you also didn't have Anthony Davis in that trade. We got to give AD some proud. Again, I get AD's a top 10. AD's a top 10 player He's a top 10 player. He's worth. What do we give up? What do we give up for AD? We gave what 3 first-round picks, fam?
3, and then we gave up our entire
That's my
young
point. He's
core
worth at least. He's probably worth at least 3 or 4 first-round picks, bro.
and our entire young core.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. He's at least. He's worth. He's worth. What's going on, Craig? He's worth some. He's worth some picks in itself. He's worth some first-round picks in itself.
But okay, this is just a sidebar. NBA just be trading first-round pick. They traded somebody who's in junior high right now.
Mhm.
Like this is like first-round picks matter, bro. Picks
they?
matter.
Do
Maybe
they?
the 55th pick doesn't matter, but first-round picks do matter.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that anymore. Like I used to be on that train of build from the ground up, but at this point, it's a whole bunch of mercenaries in the league now, so it really don't matter.
Yeah, we just real life 2K.
It really don't matter. Guys gonna be on. They're gonna finish their career on 4 or 5 different teams anyway. It's only a select few guys that's gonna finish their careers where they actually are drafted. So at this point, I really don't care anymore.
You need to make a call to Boston.
But
Tatum seemed disgruntled. Make that call. Make that call, Rob.
It says start Bronny. Don't bring that in here, man. Don't bring that in here, bro. Don't bring that in here. Nobody care about no daggone Bronny, bro. He scored yesterday though. He scored last night against the Knicks. What was he 1 for 1 for like 3 minutes?
Keep hating, but he gonna be a player. I see it. I see some flashes.
Who?
I see
Who's
some
gonna be a
flashes
player?
in him.
Who's gonna be a player?
Bryce. Elijah Arenas.
Nah, I mean, just to speak on Bronny real quick. I mean, I think he's gonna be okay. I think he's gonna be all right in the next few years. In the next few years. Nothing recent, but in the next few years he'll be okay. Now, obviously,
Clipper Golden State Warrior.
Obviously, if we do trade LeBron, obviously he got to go with him. Like, bye, get you out the door too. So he can go play on Golden State's G League team too. He'd be quite all right over there. Actually, he might play for Golden State with the talent they got right now. But but no, I like I like the trade. I love the Luka Doncic trade. I really, really, really do. Just for us to start to reset our squad and our team, our organization. Bron fans can stop saying we're gonna be trash after Bron leave. That narrative can kind of go out the door. Because if Luka ain't gonna do nothing else, he's gonna be able to take you to the playoffs. So, we'll still be relevant. I think the brand plus Luka will definitely get you another star in them doors for sure. Who's gonna play off the ball, Bron or Luka? I mean, Bron's shown the ability to play off the basket. He's shown the ability to do it. It's not something he's willing to do, but he's shown the ability to be able to actually do it. I just think we're gonna play at a very, very slow pace compared to the rest of the league. And it's not. And I'm just questioning who they're gonna play, who they gonna go pick and roll with. Like you got no bigs that can pick and pop, so that's gonna be a little bit of a problem for Bron. But
Maxi Kleber, bro, about to average 20.
what you doing is switching, bro. Yeah, Bron will play off the ball. He'll actually go down the post if he needs.
You gotta make a call to New Orleans too, man. Zion should be available.
That's even worse. I'd rather go back and get AD.
Nah, give me Zion away from the gumbo. We good.
I was about to say 2 players that just can't control their weight. I ain't trying to hear that.
Listen, we got Luka away from the barbecue brisket. We get Zion away from the gumbo and get them both in the avocados of LA. We good money.
Nah, it's a lot of distractions in LA too. It's a lot of distractions in LA too. So we not. I don't know about all that, bro.
Oh yeah, Miss Mills might be in LA too. Yeah, pop up on Zion. So yeah.
Yeah. It's way too many distractions for Zion in LA, bro. He actually good. He got New Orleans to go to another small market. He don't need to be in LA or Miami. Yeah. All right, let's talk about let's talk about the hires for the NFL. Let's start with Dallas. What you think about
for what? Did they hire somebody?
Yeah, they did. They
Was
hired
Buddy a
they hired
hire or Buddy just own? Hey, he just probably walked in. Hey, Jerry, who's gonna be the head coach? You want it? Sure. That's not a hire. That's just another
you
yes
don't
man.
respect you don't respect Schottenheimer?
The Dallas Cowboys don't respect them.
Man, what are you
Why
basing that off
not?
of? What are you basing that off of, man?
Man, listen. Once the Dallas Cowboys fans are not happy about this hire, and they shouldn't be, because once again, it's been proven Jerry is just going to hire a yes man. That's it. He wants all the credit if they win.
That's fair.
And he's not going to win with this.
That's fair. That's fair. I honestly, I don't think it really does much for Dallas one way or the other. I think they'll still be a fairly good football team. They got talent.
They need a
Biggest question is
quarterback.
what do they do with Parsons? He's in a contract year. Got to get him signed. So that's probably their number one question mark going
Well,
into the offseason.
let Parsons is probably the best defensive player in the NFL from weeks 1 through 10.
Sure.
Afterwards, he's useless. So
But
I don't know if that can be negotiated.
Here's my question for you. If Michael was to hit the market, would you want him in New England? Just real quick.
Absolutely.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Absolutely.
Just want to make
Podcast
sure.
and all. I would, podcast Parsons. Yeah, we can bring him on
curious.
down.
Just curious. This is for this is for my boy Dom. Vegas. They got Pete Carroll. You like that hire? That mind you, that division is crazy with head coaches right now. Sean Payton, Pete Carroll, Andy Reid.
God bless Tom Brady. God bless Tom Brady. That's what I think of. Just God bless Tom Brady.
Hire. Pete can build. He's a team builder. Now, obviously, he's old. What is he? 74?
Yeah, he's 74
Yeah,
in
he's
Vegas.
74.
In Vegas with no quarterback.
I think they'll figure something out. I mean, I think the idea is maybe to go get Russ just for a year, just to kind of.
What does that do?
I mean, it stabilizes the position for at least a year.
Grammy Russ is not going to do anything for you.
Playoffs.
Speaking of, the Grammys are tonight. We'll see Russ there tonight.
He made the playoffs this year. He helped the Steelers make the playoffs this year.
Well,
I mean,
no, Tomlin. Some credit. Tomlin makes the playoffs.
I mean, he made the playoffs. So
Tomlin did.
The bad thing is that you're in the same division as Patrick Mahomes. So I mean, you got to do a little bit more at the quarterback position. But I like the hire for the short term. I just don't know how long Pete's going to coach. I don't think I've ever seen a coach coach up down there 80 years old. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I do like the fact they kept a DC. That was big. I thought he should have been promoted to head coach, but it's neither here nor there. They weren't going back to back black, but keeping him was big. He can learn under Pete, so that's the biggest thing I like about that hire.
Right. What about Ben Johnson in Chicago?
Easily the best hire of the entire cycle.
Really? Okay, we're gonna get into that a little bit later. Well, I'm gonna double back to that later. But why you say that's the biggest hire?
So one, you killed your division. So you did that. You hurt your division
with Chicago with one of the coordinators leaving from Detroit.
Gotcha. Yeah, you get Jared Goff's comfort blanket out of there, and the real Jared Goff will stand up. Well, he does stand up all the time, but y'all don't see it. But the sneaky great thing they did today, they hired Eric Bieniemy. So Ben Johnson's offense is about to be
right? Running back coach, right?
Ben Johnson's offense is about to be off the chain. And Caleb Williams and all that weird stuff he be doing on the football field, that his stats ain't too bad. It kind of works. It'll work with him. It'll be looking like man, what's buddy named USC's coach?
Forgot his name. I forgot his name. Why is this not sticking? Yeah. It's not coming to me. We know what you're talking about.
But yeah. So you get that dynamic back with Caleb Williams, and they have a very talented offense.
My question for Caleb though is, and I feel like this has been a question since he came in the league, um, and went through the evaluation process. His ability to play in structure, like to take some of those easier throws, and
He won't
those
have
check
to.
downs. He's gonna
He
have
won't
to
have
for
to.
sure. He's
He
gonna
won't
have
have
to
to.
for sure. Why won't
He
he?
won't because first of all, anybody who actually watched the Detroit Lions this year can tell you everything was mapped out for Jared Goff to do.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Jared Goff, since junior high, has never called a play, checked out of a play. They've coached him on what to do, when to do it. Ben Johnson will scheme everybody open. Caleb Williams
And
ain't got
that
to sit back there and blame a decent O-line. Their O-line is decent, but if you hold the ball for 25 seconds, you
but
get
that's
what you
my but
get.
that's my but that's my point though. Like
Some won't be schemed open earlier.
Caleb,
Like we,
no, my thing was last year. I saw guys running open. Caleb just didn't hit him. There were guys running open.
that's the NFL Open versus college Open. He was still they're not open in college. So that's something that you sit down with Ben Johnson for 10 minutes and you get that ironed out.
With 10 minutes. No, I think he's gonna actually have to be coached up, bro. I think
Yeah,
that's
I
gonna have
mean,
to
yeah,
be
it'll
something
be
that
the first time he's actually coached up.
I think
Lincoln
that's something
Riley is the name I was
Lincoln
thinking of.
Riley. Yep, 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 yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So
But
yeah, Lincoln Riley, who off topic was the reason why we getting 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl right now. But moving on. I like Eric Bieniemy. And then they got a decent DC, right?
a decent
In
DC.
Chicago.
I don't think he's hired a DC yet.
It
From what
was
I've
rumors,
heard.
but he did get
From what I
Randall. Randall's gonna push Rome Medusa, who they called a bust because Caleb Williams didn't
it's 1 year.
see him.
It's 1 year. It's 1 year. It's too early for that. But what about the Jets? This is actually the sneaky good hire for me with Aaron Glenn. I really like this hire for the Jets, man.
The Jets are gonna jet. They did it again. The Jets are going to jet, and they did it again.
You don't like Aaron Glenn?
Buddy's not ready, man.
Based off of what? What are you basing that off of?
Buddy's not. Hey, happy Black History Month to all of us out there. DEI is still it should still be in your company. If it's not, go to HR, make some complaints. But Buddy's not ready. I'm not going to forget last year, Detroit team was one of the worst defenses in the league.
Okay,
This year, their defense was good because you have 4 different offensive players who had 1,000 yards from scrimmage. Their offense masked their defense, and their defense just got a bunch of turnovers because they sped the game up. Can he motivate? I'm pretty sure he can motivate. But the Jets are a dumpster fire. Who's the quarterback?
question. I think that's the biggest question in the organization.
Who's the OC?
Another big question.
What cap space do they have?
I think that all depends on what happens with Aaron Rodgers.
So we just I named all this thing. Is he ready for all
But
that?
it's still a good football team, though, on paper. It's still not a bad football team. Your defense is still pretty good. Your offense is solid. I mean, you got weapons for whoever your quarterback's going to be. You got a good running
Your
back.
O-line was all 1-year rentals.
Yeah.
Because I just want to point out, I said I wanted Mekhi Becton on the Pats. No, he's a failure. He didn't do good with the Jets. It's the Jets, bro. Now he's playing for a damn Super Bowl. The Jets are going to jet. They find ways to jet. This time they're taking 2 black guys and they're going to jet both of them. Steve Wilkes is a solid DC.
Absolutely.
He got scapegoated because Kyle Shanahan doesn't know how to close the game.
You gonna blame it on Cal?
28-3.
Nah.
28-3. I got stuff to back me.
I mean, your defense has still got to play better than that, though, bro. Come on, man.
22-19. 22 points for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm pretty sure that's pretty good defense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. So we scapegoating him again. He's gonna be scapegoating him again. So Aaron Glenn, I wish him the worst because he's a Jet, but yeah.
I think this is probably the worst hire of the coaching cycle. Liam Cohen, Jacksonville.
Duval. That was first of all, the hire. I don't know what was worse, the hire or the Duval. I don't know what's worse. What the hell did the Bucks do for him to be a hot hire?
Don't know. I don't know.
What are we
It's
doing?
I mean, I don't know. I personally had forgot he was even the OC down there. I thought it was still had somehow Byron Leftwich. I still don't know what happened with Byron.
They fired him because Baker bakered. But this, like, what are we doing? Ahmad Khan or whoever his name is, he panicked. He panicked after he didn't get Ben Johnson. Went and fired the GM because he was like, well, I don't want to go to Jacksonville because of the GM. They don't want to go to Jacksonville because you paid a guy $275 million to still be potential in year 7. Jacksonville was the worst situation and the worst hire.
It's gonna be on Wednesday. So that's on Wednesday.
Jacksonville had the worst situation, and then they followed it up with the worst hire.
I don't know about the worst situation.
Second worst. I'm sorry.
I don't know because the team is not bad. It's not a bad team. The defense I think is solid to average. The offense solid to average. Obviously Trevor Lawrence we've been talking potential with Trevor Lawrence since his freshman year at freaking Clemson. So it is what it is. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad job, but I do believe it's a bad hire and it's a reach. And it's now that is the Jacksonville Jaguar hire. Like that's where you said the Jaguars gonna Jaguar, if they're the Jaguars gonna Jaguar. that's that type of hire. And it's just it's real blah. I don't think maybe dude makes it a year. Maybe a year. Anything other than that is flat out crazy to me.
They should have got Mike McCarthy.
I think Mike won a year off, man. Being a coach under Jerry, it's draining, bro.
Yeah.
I think he wanted some time off, bro. Last one, New England Patriots, bro. I told you Gerard was gonna be fired. I want to just go out there. He should be fired. But I think this hire to me is the best hire in the cycle. Just because of all the guys that Mike he's got 5 former head coaches on his staff right now. Mike has done an excellent job in building his coaching staff. And honestly, there's a lot of energy in that building going on right now. So I think he's the best coaching hire. I think out of all the teams that were available, I think he's probably got the least amount of talent on the team, but
you got the best situation. You have a quarterback and you have cash. That's the goal. You got to find
an owner that wants to win. And an owner that wants to win.
I'm not sure about that one, but you have your quarterback, and you have cash. Those are the things that you need in the NFL.
Yeah. And so far, I really don't have a problem with not one hire. I know we kind of differ with the Josh McDaniels hire, somewhat, but I think Josh is going to do a heck of a job.
No, I love Josh. You know, what, 3 bowls with him? Mm-hmm. It's just going to be vanilla, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Give me that efficiency. Give me that efficiency. But I also
we're just gonna be efficient and vanilla.
I went back though. I watched a little bit of the 2020 season, COVID with Cam, and how he called plays. I was pleasantly surprised by how well he called games with Cam Newton. And I bring up Cam because of the mobility factor.
Cam run. Okay. Okay, coach. Cam couldn't throw. Car accident.
That's my point. That's my point, though. Cam, for what he was able to do with Cam that year and still be pretty effective, with our offense this year, and obviously what he was able to do with Mac Jones the very next season, I'm extremely excited to see what Josh can do with Drake this year.
And now Josh is an outstanding OC. He's a horrible head coach. And I hope he now realizes that.
We
I hope he
completely agree.
realizes.
We completely agree on that. And that's that. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I really do like the hire is because you don't have to worry about Josh ever going anywhere else. You don't have to worry about you losing your OC. Your DC is probably going to be there for at least a few years. Everybody that's on that staff is pretty much they're grounded. They're going to be in New England unless they do a terrible job. So absolutely love the hires.
I got some beef with Kraft, but I do
What's the
like.
beef? What's the beef with Kraft right now, bro?
I don't feel as though a fair shake was given to Mayo. I'm looking at the staff and I'm like, man, the money that had to be spent on this staff, did Mayo get that same funding? Did Mayo get this decision making?
Can I put your mind at ease real quick? Because I can answer that question.
You can't answer the question. You're not in the
You
front
can't
office.
answer. I can answer the
You
question.
can give me what
I can give you
say.
stuff. I can give you things that have been released over since last season. Okay.
It's been released, but I'm not.
No, since last year. So with Gerard, and this is not Gerard's fault. Let me put this out there. This is not Gerard Mayo's fault. With the guys he hired last season, those were 6 and 7 choice guys, and it had everything to do with the fact that he didn't have the network. Like guys didn't really know Gerard like that. He didn't have nobody who he could call up and say, "Hey, come get would you like to come be the coach?" There was a lot of guys he reached out to that declined. So a lot of his choices for OC and DC were actually his 6 or 7 choices. Those were guys that were literally just the guys who said yes. Like he really had a lot of guys that said no to him. So
Covington was his guy in waiting. So as far as
no. As far as DC, no, actually that was his 6th choice. He actually called some guys before Covington.
Now that one I believe Covington was his guy.
I believe Covington was going to be on the staff, but I think he was kind of thrust into the role of DC because there was a lot of guys that Gerard wanted instead of Covington, that turned him down. From everything I read,
I think the Van Pelt hire was horrible.
I didn't think Alex was that bad last year, man.
I don't think AVP was that bad. Horrible.
I think
he was horrible.
I can't really give you a proper grade on AVP because it's hard to kind of say how good somebody is at calling plays and designing different things when every time your offense catches a rhythm, there's a negative play. There's either a sack or there's some type of penalty that sets you back. So and then you don't have the horses on the outside to kind of offset those penalties to make up for that. So I couldn't give AVP proper grade. The only thing I could give AVP credit for this season was his development of Drake. I think he did a really good job in developing Drake and bringing Drake along. And Drake, there was a lot of things that people said that Drake had issues with coming into the season that you could tell got cleaned up. And I want to give AVP credit for that. They said he had bad feet. They said he wasn't decisive on a lot of his throws. He was a lot of that this year. So I'm gonna give AVP credit for that.
You can. I won't. So as a guy who's called offensive plays before, you have tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
You have tendencies. You have what you're gonna do in this situation, that situation. Everybody has those tendencies. A good DC figure out the tendencies, but it was mapped out. First down, run to the B gap. Second down, we're gonna try a quick hitter. Third down, screen. It was the same route. It's like, bro.
Can I ask you something though? How much of that I'm leaning on you now because you've called players on the offensive side of the ball at the high school level, so you know what you're talking about. How much of that play calling is actually impacted by the personnel that you have?
It is impactful.
Okay.
So just personally, just this year, and this was the JV level to be specific. I was averaging 40. We were scoring 40 a game. I lost my QB. We couldn't do anything without it. So I cooked up stuff to get the offense rolling. So personnel does matter. I had a makeshift line, which that the line stayed the same throughout the JV season. So I called, despite what I had line wise. I listen, told my QB, figure it out. Coach, I ain't got the time. Figure it out. You're mobile. Use your legs. I always gave him a check down option. I always gave a little wrinkle. I used a lot of motion, a lot of eye candy. Let me stop giving out my secrets. But there's things you can do to
Nobody watches
come back.
BOJB.
There's things you can do to
bro.
combat a bad offensive line. And I don't think AVP did that. He just kept doing screens. Well, the screens look like normal pass plays when the line is that bad. So like there was things he could have did that he didn't do. And you saying Drake came along slowly. The guy should have started day one. I kept saying that, but whatever. But AVP was the OC when Cats lost 40-0 or 40-7 to the Chargers. This was the same OC, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why'd you even bring that up? Like, why is that even in the conversation?
That was the worst offensive call game I've ever watched in my life.
But I would also garner it was one of the sloppiest games that I've ever seen. And to me, that literally was brought down by the offensive line. The offensive line had a really bad day today. So it's whatever. Like when you get into a position where you're a team that has to have to play a certain way, and then a team jumps out on you quickly, it makes your offense completely have to change. And ultimately, you have to play a game that you didn't want to have to play. So I don't blame MVP for that game, bro. You know what I mean? Like you down 21-0. You would rather have to run the football with Ramondre, who fumbled the ball, I think, that game. And had no business
running right in the B gap on every first down still. So
I mean, you still got to protect the football. I mean, Ramondre had not to get off too far off. We do Ramondre Stevenson.
What do you mean?
I mean, I really want to let him go. I really want to let Ramondre go.
Once we get Travis at 4, then we go ahead. We go ahead.
You still this Travis Hunter kid. You still this Travis Hunter kid. Whatever.
Once we get Travis at 4, is a deep running back class. And get that boy some help in like 4th round. Good 4th round running back. 2nd and 3rd round, we take some linemen. We good money. But once we get Travis, we good.
So speaking of the AFC, obviously the Chiefs are the AFC champions again. It's a bore. It's becoming a bore. Very much a bore, but beautiful football in it though. I wrote a post about this a few days ago. It's time for somebody to give Steve Spagnuolo a job. Anywhere else but Kansas City. It's time to break that up.
I said it years ago. You personally called me a hater, saying you're giving too much credit to the coaching staff. It's Mahomes. It's Mahomes. I said Spags has been in his bag. Andy Reid is if not the best, the 2nd best offensive play caller the game has ever seen.
We got a conversation about that. Go ahead.
But now, as far as the AFC Championship game, y'all gonna say, how do you blame Josh Allen for that, bro? That was that 4th down was the only bad thing I saw from Spags. If you go back, he tipped off that blitz. He tipped it off. Pre-snap. I'm looking.
I actually went back and watched it. I didn't think he tipped it at all.
He tipped it off bad. I'm looking like he because they was on the hash. So he's on the short side of the field, and it's 2 wideouts over there, and it was 3 defenders.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I'm like, and I'm looking at the linebacker cheat. I'm like, oh, he bringing outside pressure because Josh Allen's gonna roll out to his right, and he's gonna roll right out to this blitz, and he sure enough did it. I'm sitting here watching the game.
I actually went back and watched that. I actually went back and watched not only that play but the actual game. They were in that formation quite a few times before that. as far as Spags. He gave that look to Josh a couple of times and never blitzed and didn't blitz the corner out of that formation at all. He held that particular blitz the entire game. He gave Josh this was just beautiful by Spags. He
I
gave
mean,
Josh that look. He
it
gave
was
Josh that look. He gave Josh that look. I want to say 4 or 5 times throughout the course of the game. He never brought him. Who he brought, which I'm guessing that's who the mic was, because Josh in his in his protection, he slid the offensive line. This was actually Josh's call. He slides the offensive line to pick
because
up
he
both
quarterback.
because he picked to pick up both. That's who he was sliding the line to pick up Bolton. He thought Bolton was coming. Bolton came back. For once, this was the only time Bolton didn't rush. That's what Josh was expecting, and he got fooled. He got fooled.
It's not
And I
hard to
give
fool
and,
that guy.
and I and I and I give Spags complete credit for that, bro. I give him all the credit for that. Obviously, Josh, if you would hope that he can make, but nobody's perfect in protection. Nobody is perfect in protection. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You just hope it don't happen in that situation.
You can't roll out there. You gotta stay. You gotta stay.
The heat comes like straight off the guard. So the guy is literally coming. So where is he supposed to roll out from? That would be my question.
You don't roll
Where
out,
is
bro.
you supposed to
You
just
have
stand there?
You got a hot. He had the guy who
No,
you hate,
no,
who's
no, no, no,
solid,
no,
Khalil
no.
Shakur.
Don't say that, because I went back and watched Shakir too. Literally, as soon as the pressure gets there, he's about here. Shakir's about right here, with his head not even turned yet. So that throw would have been tough to make. That'd have been
Throw the ball.
a tough throw. So if it goes incomplete, we're still having the same conversation.
Now he got away with them bum chief DBs letting that pass get through. Them bums.
He don't get credit for getting the ball there, bro.
Them bums. How the ball go through 3 chief defenders, man? Them bums.
I just
When they
honestly
can't hold, they bums.
I don't like I don't like the play calling. And we talked about this. We talked about this a little bit. I don't like the play calling on those 4 calls in general. Well, the first call was a run to Cook. You lose a yard. The second play, I think, is batted down on the line of scrimmage. I believe was a drag. That it was open, but heck of a play by the defensive lineman to get his hand up. And the third down, I like the call. Actually, I'll take that back. I like the call on third down. To go to Amari on the screen. I just didn't want it to go to Amari. They had the numbers on the outside. You have the numbers. That pass just shouldn't have been going to Amari Cooper. It should have been going to probably Shakir. That ball probably should have found. That's where you should have threw the ball to Shakir, because
Who you
Shakir gets that
disrespect all
first.
the time.
He gets that first down. He gets that
Who's
first down.
second in the
Amari,
league in yak? Second in the league in yak.
and you're making my point. You're making my point. Shakir probably
Not
should have
making
got.
my
That's
point
where
that
you use it.
Shakir's that guy.
He's not
Y'all
that
keep
guy.
saying he ain't
Don't-
got weaponry.
He's not that guy. He's not that guy.
that-
But
he's
for
that
you to
guy.
be you bringing up Shakir is hilarious, bro. But that's where the ball should have went. That's the play. The play going
But you
to
expect
a 32-year-old Amari Cooper is insane.
You expect
That's
Shakir
insane.
to get that.
Because that's a play that's for him. That's a play that for a player like that, with having those numbers, because they had the numbers on the outside. It was 2 blocking. It was 2 blocking 2. He should be Amari Cooper is just slow. He should have got more than 5 or 6 yards on that play. If Shakir gets the ball, he's quicker. He's probably going to get that first down. He's going to make at least one guy miss and probably get a first down. That's the only reason. I'm not saying Amari Shakir's a better receiver than Amari. Even still today, I don't think he's a better receiver. But I think in that situation, that's built for Shakir to get that pass. That's all I'm saying. Fair?
Yeah.
Fair. But what we're seeing from Kansas City is something that I don't think and we're Patriot fans. I don't know if we've seen from another organization like this, where they're stopping where they're really literally stopping teams, like every team, from getting a championship. I don't think we've seen this. This is a little different.
That's because the NFL is really dumb right now. Like it's a lot of dumb decisions that's going into making these teams. And
But I feel like people would have said the same thing about us. Like a lot of teams gave us some dubs sometimes
but no, but
as
we
fans.
nobody tried to follow our formula and try to imitate it. Everybody is trying to imitate the Chiefs, and they're failing miserably. You
Explain.
don't have Andy Reid and Spags. You
But
don't have a
explain what you
Chris
think.
Jones.
Okay.
So everybody like, oh, you gotta pay your quarterback. You gotta pay your quarterback now. You gotta pay your quarterback now. You don't pay the guy until you see that he's the guy.
5 years ain't enough for you to tell whether somebody's a good player or not.
Trevor Lawrence, it's been 10 years and we still seeing potential, right?
Fair. But when Trevor
We
just
just
got paid, what was that? Trevor just got paid last summer, right? Got his money last
we
summer.
just y'all keep saying he's a game manager and all this. He's managed to get himself back to the Super Bowl for the second time. Jalen Hurts. Don't turn the ball over. Howie Roseman should be the standard. That's who you should imitate. We're going to spend all our money in free agency. We're going to spend all our money in free agency on our offense. Defensively, we're going to draft them. What did the Chiefs do? Their money goes on offense. Chris Jones, Karlaftis, Bolton, all draft guys.
They all about to say, yeah, those guys was drafted. They need
you draft your defense. You have to hit on these draft picks.
And that's
like
the
a
point.
Team on the bank.
That's the point. That's the point. What Kansas City is doing, just from a GM standpoint, they're not missing on picks. They're not missing on picks. When you get Isaiah Pacheco in the 6th round, you're not missing on picks, bro.
And that's the thing. So Kansas City is drafting guys to make themselves better. Philly is drafting guys to make themselves better. The damn Bengals drafted Dax Hill because he's fast. He's fast, so he can cover Worthy and
honestly, I think
Moore.
I think originally when they drafted Dax Hill, it was always to replace Jesse Bates. I just thought that was just a stupid concept though.
But you don't draft. I'm not drafting to beat the Chiefs. I'm drafting to get my team better. I don't just want the fastest corner. Because look at Greedy Williams. Ain't Greedy Williams playing for the DC Defenders now? Don't just get somebody with speed. That's LSU dude.
That's fair.
You draft to make yourself better, and teams have not grasped that concept of draft to make themselves better. They're drafting. We got to draft to beat the Chiefs.
Is that just the Bengals or is that league wide?
No, that's a league wide thing.
Because I feel like Baltimore, they have a pretty good football team. They just
Baltimore drafts who makes them better.
Okay.
Baltimore does draft who makes them better.
Okay,
they're not getting over the hump right now, and
that's where I think it is. I think it's just mentally right now. I think Kansas City, for whatever reason, they just have an edge, and I'm giving that to Andy Reid. I'm not gonna give it to necessarily Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna give it to Andy Reid. They just make the play when it needs to be made. That third, was it 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd down? You get the running back up. Like it's a simple. It's literally a simple play, but it's the tiny details, man. It's the tiny details. There's nothing spectacular about that play other than Patrick Mahomes, other than Andy Reid scheming for Patrick Mahomes to have that easy ass throw. And that's all it is. It's just they got a little bit of an edge, bro. And I just don't understand why the rest of the league just can't catch up. Can't catch up to
because they're trying. They're in panic mode. They're in constant. Like, I love Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is going to win a Super Bowl. It's going to be in 3 or 4 years. It's not going to be anytime recent. He's still in panic mode. He panicked the entire Bills game. He just was, I got to win this game. I got to win this game. I got to win this game.
I feel like that, but I feel like that happened. I feel like that happened to Josh last week too. I feel like
he was
ramped up. He was ramped up to start that game. Because he had two picks on that first drive. He should have had 2 picks on that first drive.
So, and I'm not a white Cam Newton fan, but Josh Allen played a decent game. Like he played
a really good game.
Other than
that final drive where obviously he misses the protection, I thought he played dang near a perfect football game. Once he settled down.
You
Once he settled down.
way
Once he settled
over
down.
that.
Once he settled down, I think he played dang near a perfect football game.
I would have liked him to use what makes him good, his legs more. He's a deep ball thrower and he has good legs. Use that to your advantage. That one pass to Keon Coleman, who was quadruple covered. Come on, that's that BS that I be talking about.
Which one are you talking about?
It was. I want to say it was the third quarter. It was just one of those just hoist up Josh Allen type pass.
I thought that was the play where he actually pointed at the guy that was getting held. It was like it was basically a free play. Is that the play you're talking about?
I don't think it was that one. It was another one where he just hoisted it up, and I'm like, come on, man, this.
Because that was the one Tony Romo called him out for, and then he was like, "Oh,
yeah." I remember that.
Yeah. Okay. So it was a different.
But he played a good game. But again, I don't think he was. I think he was ready. McDermott can't scheme against Andy Reid.
I think so. Should Buffalo move on from McDermott?
No. Who else is going to come in there and do anything for him? Hey, at some point, as a coach, you gotta. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Can I give? And I heard this on the radio, so this is not my prediction. But if I was Buffalo, you just asked who can come in and do what McDermott is doing, right? You probably think I'm about to say Bill Belichick, right?
No.
Thanks. That's what I would hire as my head coach.
Well, I was gonna, but I was gonna.
That's who I would hire.
You would. I was gonna say you get a new defensive mind in there and this is the tough pill for coaches to swallow. If you don't know something and your stuff isn't working, it's okay to say you don't know and ask for help. So I think McDermott needs, but yes, Spags would be a brilliant hire.
I honestly, you weaken the Kansas City Chiefs, and then you get a guy that knows their offense and knows their system better than anybody. So to me, if I was the Buffalo Bills, that would have been where I would have went. If I'm gonna go, if I'm gonna move on, I'm reaching out to Spags. Hey, we got a team that's ready to win.
But we keep and Spags really has an NFL record, most Super Bowls for an assistant coach. Like this is why I say the league is so dumb. There's no why are we not hiring him?
Well,
like it's literally we're making we just okay.
Spags, let's just I didn't think he was actually interested in coaching, being a head coach. And I know he had the but here's the thing though. I forgot that he was actually a head coach before. I completely forgot about the New Orleans Thunder. I completely forgot about that. So I'm like, there's a lot of coaches that get these second chances, a la Josh McDaniels, that don't necessarily deserve it. Spags deserves a second chance at this point, bro. I mean, when you think about the teams he's gone about just completely cooking as a defensive coordinator, it's time, bro. It's time to get that man another chance, especially if as the league as a whole, bro, just weaken Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
If it does nothing else, it weakens the Kansas City Chiefs. If it does nothing else. So give this man a job, please, because I'm getting sick of it. I'm really getting sick of the brilliance that we are seeing from the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know that that's hypocritical to say as a Patriots fan, but I'm sick of it.
Don't worry. In Vic, we trust.
Vanilla Vic?
Nah, I'm talking about Coach
Vic,
man. Oh, yeah. In Vic, we trust. Vanilla Vic got us, though. Vanilla Vic got us for the next 10 years. But Vic Fangio got us in what, 7 days? Oh, he got us.
So we're gonna wait till Wednesday. We'll wait till Wednesday. We'll wait till Wednesday for that. All right, let's jump into everybody keeps saying that when Kansas City wins this championship, though, it catapults Patrick Mahomes into GOAT conversation.
The answer is no. Next question. The answer is no. Next question.
But a three-peat, though. A three-peat is pretty special. A three-peat is pretty special, bro. I agree. I
Answer is
agree.
no. Next question.
Where do
4
you
is
put it?
less than 7.
Where do
0
you
and
put it?
1. He
On
he
we can't
until he
we can't
doesn't
even
have Shelton,
we can't. I think the other thing that people are
and he didn't beat
forgetting is
him. He
he's got
lost
two
to him in
losses.
the Super Bowl and the AFC
AFC
Championship.
Championship game.
There's
Yeah.
there's yeah. Next question. Like
So is that the
that's a
same?
very Nick Wright. That's
Is
a
that the
Nick Wright
same?
question. Next question.
Well, I have to ask I have to ask you because it's a popular question. So is that the same thing for Andy Reid?
Andy Reid is not better than Belichick. That's another thing.
Well, he's coming up on. I asked that question because he's about to surpass Bill, and he's threatening Shula's record for all time wins. So he actually probably will be the all time winningest head coach in history.
Does he have 6?
Is okay. So for you,
Does he have 6?
he's got to have 6. Is basically what you're saying.
Does he have 6?
No, he doesn't have 6.
Has he beaten Belichick in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's 0-3 versus him in the Super Bowl. Oh, okay. Yeah. So next question.
0-2.
0-2.
0-2.
Yeah. When they off topic, but when they do the Jordan versus LeBron thing, I can see both sides having something because they didn't really go against each other. Mahomes and Reed went against Brady and Belichick. They didn't win. Can't be go. Next.
I want to make a. I can't make. I really cannot make a. I can't make a debate for Mahomes. I can for Andy though. I will say this. I can make I can make it. I don't believe it, but I can see an argument for Andy. The reason why I can see an argument for Andy is what he did without Patrick Mahomes, and what if you want to point to what he did without Patrick Mahomes and what Bill did without Brady, that would be the argument. When you look at Andy's success with Donovan McNabb, with Michael Vick, with Alex Smith, and then you look at the lack of success with that Bill has without Tom Brady, that would be your argument. That's the only argument I feel like you can make.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only argument you can make. Yeah, where Bill was fortunate enough to have Tom Brady for over 20 years, or for 20 years. I'm sorry, for 20 years, and then Andy finally gets his Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. The dominant starts. He just didn't have him for 20 years. So that's the only argument that I can throw out for me when it comes to Bill Belichick. So just so you think, oh, brother, leave a little bit. But what?
That's a good one.
But once I stopped my little brother. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into college football real quick. The landscape of college football. Ohio State Buckeyes are the national champions.
That was one of the worst national championships I ever watched. The Ohio State Yankees won the game. Congratulations. The fact that I'm not going to use the word root because I'll never root for that, but I had a preference that they won. It's just sickening to me. They just bought a championship. That's great.
But isn't that the landscape though right now?
And that's my problem. They took my favorite sport ever, college football, and ruined it. So now I'm more of an NFL fan than college fan, and it makes me sick. I'm watching. Carson Beck is getting paid more than quality NFL quarterbacks, and I'm not sure he could win a state title in high school right now. And that's real talk.
Beck is not that bad, bro. He's not that bad, bro.
No, he's that bad.
Beck is not that bad, bro.
He's literally that bad. And I still Florida did this to us on purpose. Florida did it. It's a long thing. So Alabama, short story. Alabama recruited him. Georgia didn't want him. Georgia wasn't there. Florida was like, oh yeah. We throwing everything at him, and then all of a sudden Kirby comes in and signs him. Florida never wanted that guy, man. An in-state kid, Florida never wanted him. They just wanted us to get him, and this is the result. So it was a strategic move, and it it hampered Georgia football because we're going to look back, and I've said this several times. We're going to look back. This might be the most talented Georgia team in recent years, even better than the back-to-back title teams.
Really?
This team was loaded.
I didn't think y'all
and
was
we
loaded.
just
I didn't think y'all
underachieved.
was loaded.
Okay.
I will
Watch
say
their
this.
NFL success.
I will say this. This is probably, at least for me, and maybe I will acknowledge maybe it's because it's Ohio State. I don't know. Um, I didn't really just think there was any great football teams this year. Like I felt like it was a lot
No,
of mid football teams as a whole.
yeah. So the talent is spread out, but that's one thing. But it's not a lot of talent because you don't get guys wanting to compete. You used to compete like I got to feed my family, make to the league. Now I hate using Florida as another example. You go to Florida's campus, you go to the football players' parking lot, it's number Hellcats. Like, what kind of college? Like, as a college student, I got a Hellcat. I'm not competing, man. I'm not doing that extra 20 minutes in the weight room. I'm
I
not doing
think
that
what's
extra 20 minutes in the film room.
I think what's
So you
crazy to
water down the
me.
product.
I think what's crazy to me is that Ohio State just won a national title, and you got their best player. People think could actually lead. That was something you never heard about a few years ago. There is a legitimately fear around Ohio State's that their player could go somewhere else because the price that somebody will be willing to pay for him. I don't think that's insane. Now, obviously, I would love for Michigan to pay that price, but if we're getting to that point where where the name on the front of the jersey doesn't matter, the game you're heading to a very bad place in college football.
Now
Where
I'll give O State one thing. Now they did have a very veteran defense. They
yeah,
had
for
what,
sure
4 and 5 year players who've been there and have never beat
they got that
Michigan.
then they got their ass kicked
Never,
a lot.
never beat Michigan. Just want to
Uh-huh.
point that. Never, ever beat Michigan. So, but Jeremiah Smith, we know he's leaving. It's just a matter of is it going to be this year or next? We know he's not playing his full college career at O State. He told us that on signing day when he flipped to Miami, flipped back, then flipped again. Like so, I just hate what I know. Y'all love. Oh, we love seeing the players get paid. No, we gotta. Mm-mm. They gotta cap this or something because this is ridiculous. This is ruining the game. I love. But congrats to the Peanuts. And
Yeah, yeah, definitely congrats. Hard to say, but it makes it a little easier considering the fact we won an Eddie last year. So it's like, okay, I got one this year, whatever. But obviously, I think the landscape has definitely changed for a while. I think you can kind of cancel all that SEC stuff. Still a good
well,
conference. Still a
stop,
good conference. Still a good conference. Still,
We just watched a team.
it's
We just watched a national championship with two teams that didn't win their conference championship. This is just total BS. Like it's just total BS.
I mean, well, Notre Dame isn't in a conference, so
So okay,
they're not.
just total
So
BS. And then once again, the SEC commissioner has screwed its own conference.
basically, what
The
are you basing that off of?
the Georgia and Alabama schedules for next year are horrible.
Are you
If
talking about
either one of those teams get out of there with two losses and under is a miracle. The schedules is insane.
I
Meanwhile,
mean,
O State's gonna play Nebraska, Indiana, Northwestern, Rutgers, and they'll play Michigan. They'll probably play Maryland too. Like the Big Ten commissioner does a great job scheduling for the Big Ten, so their teams don't beat up on each other, so they can get 4 teams in it. SEC didn't do that.
that's
SEC
how you
still not doing that.
that's where you went with that. I was wondering where you was gonna work that in at. I was wondering where that was coming in. I was wondering how you was gonna shake that up. That was actually pretty impressive. That was actually pretty impressive. But let's be fair, bro. Like we both obviously there's these super conference now that we do have. Michigan is one of them. And unfortunately for Georgia and Alabama, they get Texas, who was another power. We still got Penn State. We had Washington and
No, no, no,
USC
no,
that's
no,
been
no, no,
added.
no. Washington stinks. And again, every
Just in
year
the
we
night
got to
last
stop.
year. Just in the night last year.
Okay, their entire team went to Alabama.
I get that. Not the entire team, bro. If their
The
entire
entire
team
team.
went to Alabama, they should have been better, right? They should have been better. Alabama should
Well,
have been better.
that just proves to you that the SEC is more superior than that BS Big Ten. But neither here nor there. Now, you brought up Penn State. Stop bringing up Penn State. Penn State eats on Maryland, Rutgers, Indiana, Northwestern.
They were
Then
just
they
in the
play
conference championship.
They
They
got
were just they were
embarrassed.
just they were just in the top
Embarrassed.
four. They were just
And
in the top
why were they in the
four.
top four? They're in the top four because every year they trick the committee. Every year they go 10-2.
Oh,
And they lose their only 2 games that they play. And then when they finally play a real team, they lose. They gave them the easiest draw in the world. They got SMU and then Boise State. Come on, man.
it's like
Give
Boise
Georgia that, man.
Boise was a good football.
Stop.
Solid football team.
No, they weren't.
Solid football team. Don't do that.
They had one
That's
solid
that's a
player.
quality program.
No,
That's a
it's not.
quality program. It's a quality
No, it's
program.
not. Because
But
they
I
should have
think
lost to UNLV.
I
They
think we
should have
can both
lost to
agree though.
UNLV.
We can both agree though. I think that 12 teams is too many.
Way too many.
I think we can both agree on that. I feel like to
Or
go for
just make it 6 Big Ten, six SEC. They play each other, and we get out of here.
so you just super conferences period, huh? It's just super conferences period, huh? I
So we
got
can
you.
we
I
can
think
hear the
we had this conversation before though. I think we had both talked about like 8 teams would probably be the best way to go. I think five conference champions at the time, and I think 3 at large bids. I think would be cool. I think because I think you always gonna have that team that feel like, hey, we probably should have made it in, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, win your conference. I think it puts the emphasis on you still winning your conference championship because it automatically gives you that bid. And then with the eight at large, it's like, all right, it's based off of your quality of opponents and your record.
because you
It makes you schedule.
eliminate Indiana because scheduling
Yeah,
don't matter. I'm just if I'm a team, I'm just scheduling FCS teams and then playing conference opponents. Like we Georgia playing a tough team beginning of the year at a neutral site means nothing.
and I think now it does. Now it does, and I think that's the sucky part about it is that
No,
this year your conference champions did not matter this year, and I think
it didn't matter.
that was an unintended consequence. Like that, your conference championship game, what happened during the regular season mattered very didn't really matter as much, and that's where you screwed it up. So they got to go back to the drawing board with this. I did not like this 12 team format at all when it was released. And then to actually see it play out, it was pretty bad. It was horribly bad.
And then you definitely get a, a Tennessee playing the coldest game in Tennessee Volunteers history. And I'll never say anything good about Tennessee, but that is BS. SMU had to play in that, and them Dallas kids is looking like, what the hell is this white stuff? Like, come on, man, stop it.
Balls? I did not like the way that came out, bro.
Pause you right back. No Diddy when you say
That's why you my brother, bro. Um, you watch how much of an NBA game, NBA basketball you don't watch? I've been trying to. I've been
I've been
really trying to.
I've been trying to. I still love Jalen Brunson's game. I still love Tatum's game. Other than that, it's tough.
I mean, Denver is probably the one team that I can probably watch a full game play. No matter who they play against, I can watch Denver. I can watch Denver, and it's not because I'm like a super fan of Jokic. It's just I like the way the guy plays and the way they play off of him. Like it feels
I
like
like their
old school
coach.
basketball.
I like their coach. Um, talks a lot of BS, but he gets down to coaches. I
Yeah,
do
I
like
think.
I do like Minnesota's coach. I just don't like his rotations.
Speaking of coaches, real quick, I saw something from Byron Scott from all out of all people that he said something that was crazy to me, but I think it's true, and I think it's true across sports. Um, because of player empowerment, coaching means very little. You get these
It does.
guys, you get these guys who literally are uncoachable at
It
every, and I feel like this is going through every level at this point.
it is. You can even take it to the high school level. It's a lot of guys who not really great coaches, but they got great talent. Like,
Yeah,
and then if you try to coach, you kids will quit on you.
so what would you say taking Pop out because we know his resume, we know where he came from, whatever, whatever. And taking Spo out. Like, who's the best coaches in the NBA right now?
I have no idea. I literally have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, if you take out the
Idoka's
two guys,
Idoka's fine. Missoula is just I listen. I don't hate Missoula like you do, but Buddy has the best team in the league.
I can't stand Joe Mazzulla. And
He
honestly,
has the best team in the league. So
that's the crazy
Steve
thing about it.
Steve Kerr, he's being
We
exposed because he
yeah, we're
can't
gonna
coach.
differ. We're gonna differ on Steve.
He can't
Uh,
coach a lick, and it's
we're
been
gonna
proven.
differ on Steve Kerr for sure. What I will say about Steve though, I will give him this criticism. Um, I do believe he did a fantastic job of building a system around Steph in his prime.
He did a
Um,
fantastic job of putting in Mark Jackson's system
hold on. That
and
wasn't
putting it
Mark
on
Jackson.
stuff. Oh yeah, okay.
That wasn't Mark Jackson's system. And I can give you context as to why.
Yeah,
Um, can I would you like to hear that context?
no, I
Okay.
wouldn't because
I
I'm
didn't think you did.
looking at
That's
the
why I was gonna keep going. That
I'm looking at the result now.
no, but you're not looking at the result. But I thought Steve Kerr did an excellent job of building an offense around Steph and Clay and what they like to do on offense. I thought he did a fantastic job of doing that. The thing about it is, I think to show, but his ability to not coach within that system and let that system evolve, I think is what is showing now. Because ultimately, you got to be able to get the best out of your players. And ultimately, right now, Steph on the decline, Draymond on the decline, can't continue to run that system and think it's going to work. The beautiful thing about Pop continued to evolve his system. He went from just we had the Twin Towers of David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and then you had Tim Duncan and Manu and Tony, and then with the focus being more so on Tony later on in Tim Duncan's career, and then you saw it evolve with Kawhi once all of those guys were gone. You've seen him that offense. You've seen him continue to change the way
Yeah, that's why Steve Kerr
the way
can't
he
coach.
coaches. Yeah, yeah. So that's the beauty of being that knowledgeable about basketball. So that's what I
I
think
I,
makes good.
I do like kid from OKC. I think he has potential to be a solid coach. They don't have any players, but
They roster.
no.
I like I like their roster.
Now that this is not a
You don't like Jalen
indictment
Williams?
against them.
You don't like Jalen Williams?
I do like. I was gonna say I like Jalen
Okay.
Williams. I like SGA. They're
Uh-huh.
not real contenders to win anything, but they're solid players.
That's just it though. I don't think you necessarily need to have like a crazy insane roster anymore to win championship. I don't think you need it.
They're 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 not gonna win a championship.
I don't necessarily think otherwise because to me, other than the Boston Celtics, I don't see a whole lot of loaded teams. I don't see a lot of teams that you sit there and be like, oh my god, like
I honestly, depending on the matchup, I don't think they're getting out the second round.
we said that last year. I think a little different this year.
And
I think a little
they
different this
did.
year.
They just got to the second round. So
Who beats them? Who beats them? Would you say?
I mean, well,
Because I've been watching some
Denver,
basketball.
Denver,
Mm,
Dallas.
no, I don't think
Uh,
Dallas. I don't think Dallas.
Yeah,
I
Denver,
think I think
Dallas.
I think SGA cooks Kyrie in that matchup over a 7-game series.
He's he's cooked everybody all year, and
Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm
led
saying.
to nothing. He
They're
cooked
the
everyone
number one
last
seed.
year.
They're the number one seed. Can't say this is.
Depending on Luca's health, my Lakers. Um,
How- yeah, I don't know about the Lakers.
and I'm a if they get their heads out their butt, Minnesota.
You think Minnesota can
Think,
beat OKC?
man, they let Rob Dallas play now. So
About time, right? But that showed me that there's some real live politics in the NBA. Because
mhm,
I feel like Dillingham was a shoe-in to get minutes at the beginning of the
yeah,
year. It's been crazy that they did not put him in earlier. Like Bronny had more minutes at one point than Rob Dillingham had. That's ridiculous, bro. That
that's horrible. I Phoenix, I don't think. I
no
that's
Phoenix, yeah.
that's just
Unless
a
they can
mess.
get Jimmy buckets, I don't think they're gonna make any noise.
I just want to tell y'all. I was the first one to tell y'all. Brad Bill ain't the guy. They went all in with Brad Bill. I was like, that was stupid.
I just I don't think KD understands what it takes to win a championship. Um, I don't. I don't. I don't think he understands what it means to win a championship. And I've said this in the past. I think he's tried to
Did you?
emulate. I have. I think he's tried to emulate LeBron with LeBron's approach to winning without understanding the one key element that LeBron does the first thing he does when he gets to a new team. He builds a culture that is built off of playing defense.
Yeah, everyone around
Literally,
LeBron plays defense.
yeah, everybody around him is going to defend. Even if he's not the best defender that he used to be, not even though he's not an elite defender the way he used to be an elite defender, he's always going to set a precedence that guess what, we're going to defend. We're going to try our best to play defense. Whereas with KD, and he had this little spat with I forgot Ryan Davis, the comedian, a few years ago, where he had said, "Well, offense was key to winning championships." Bro, no, no, you played in Golden State. Y'all were a good defensive team. That was part of the reason why y'all won the championships y'all won because you had Draymond Green directing y'all on defense, and y'all played excellent defense. Like when y'all offense goes to shit, what do you have to lean on? That's part of winning a championship, and I just don't think KD gets it. I think he loves being what he is. He's an elite scorer. He's one of the more elite scorers the game's ever seen. But when it comes to playing, having to lead and put that precedence in that guess what, we're gonna be a damn good defensive team too. He just doesn't do it. And unfortunately, that's what's handicapped him when he's not played in Golden State.
I ain't got nothing to say. This is beautiful. This is beautiful stuff.
I'm Foster, bro. I'm not Foster. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep
This
it a
this
buck.
is beautiful stuff.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I mean, KD is still, I think, one of the top 25 best players of all time. But
Yeah, yeah.
he's
This is
he
beautiful stuff. Hey, nothing to say. You know
he
what? Nothing to say. Nothing to say.
he is. But I mean, from that's where he's lacking. From even when he was in OKC, they were good basketball. They were a good defensive team. Like I don't understand this thought process of when he got to Brooklyn and Phoenix that he does not think that that's important to make sure that you don't not that you just have these guys who can score. You got guys that can play defense too. So it's yeah. So I agree with you, Phoenix. It ain't it, and I don't know what's happened to Devin Booker this year. He's still having a fairly
KD.
good season.
KD.
He's still having a fairly good season, but he don't seem happy. He don't seem like Devin Booker. Um, so I that's another issue. I just
Empty
it's
calorie
weird.
bill. That's the effect of him.
It's just weird. Like Phoenix is a weird basketball team, bro. When you look at the talent, you be like, oh yeah, you put this on 2K, you're not gonna lose a whole lot of games if you play with them on 2K. But they play a game during the a real basketball game. They are trash. But I think that's one of the problems with the NBA as a whole. Um, Transactions are more interesting than actual gameplay. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the NBA had got more clicks today than they've got on any game the entire season, and that's the
Yep.
problem with the NBA right now. You got more clicks today because of you making a huge transaction and people being excited that there was an actual transaction than it is when teams are actually playing. You had matchups where you had OKC who's the one seed and Cleveland who's the one seed. Nobody cared about that game on the regular season.
The Lakers
Yeah,
played at the Mecca last night, bro.
yeah, and nobody
Nobody
cared.
cares.
And nobody cared. That's where the problem is for the left for right now with the league. Like it's your transactions can't be bigger news than what's happening on the floor. That cannot be a thing. And mind you, this is a pretty big transaction. I agree. But at the same time, it's like we still got to care about the stars and what they're doing on the floor. Luka ain't played since Christmas Day. Buddy ain't played since Christmas Day. Why is this a bigger headline than LeBron playing at the Mecca yesterday? Maybe for the final time. This could be potentially the final time LeBron played at the Mecca and nobody cared. That's a problem for the NBA right now. Like I don't understand, and I think people say, "Oh, we hate," and I'm like, look at Adam Silver right now. Like he's scrambling, talking about taking the game down to 40-minute basketball games, and we want to incorporate a 4-point shot. Like that's somebody who's afraid. When you start doing stuff like that, you're afraid that your game is slipping.
It's the same thing. You giving people who aren't like true basketball heads too much too much power. You giving the players power. College football, you giving the kids power. You got to stop giving power to people who are going to abuse it.
So here's my
Kind of like
question.
our country. Don't give power to people who are going to abuse their power.
I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch that because then you go piss me off. But I think that goes back to somebody. What's the saying when you let the inmates run the asylum? People got mad because I forgot who said it a few years ago, but it has some truth to it. I get the racial component of it, but I think when you talk about money being made money being made and more power to the players, there are unforeseen consequences that come with that we are now
We
seeing.
hated David Stern. Now we miss him. We miss him.
Yeah, because I mean the players, the NBA players right now, it is literally just entertainment. Like these guys, they can. When you got a guy like Zion who can literally, when you got not Zion, not just Zion, Joel Embiid has played half of his career. 400
Made
has
300
missed
million.
400. Yeah, made $300 million in his career, and has missed 400 games. He's played just as many games as he's missed. It's a problem, bro. You have a problem. You have a brand problem. I wish I could go to my job and say, you know what, I'm gonna take half the time off, but y'all still got to pay me millions of dollars. I wish I could do
Mm-hmm.
that. I wish I could do that. But when people
I got
say these,
finger soreness. I can't type today.
you're gonna complain about playing 3 hours of 3 hours of basketball, bro. Just
Yeah,
go out there and play
my
hard.
knee hurts. I got to load manage. I can't walk to the printer.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And like I said, I'm hoping it doesn't bleed into the NFL. I'm really hoping because I think that will be the last straw.
No, it won't because the NFL's too dumb. Them players were more concerned about getting weed legal than anything else.
No, they
Like
still money.
the owners had them in
We've seen some we've seen
a
some
headlock.
guaranteed contracts. I mean, we've seen Deshaun Watson's guaranteed contract. Thank God that didn't go right because hopefully that keeps guaranteed contracts out of the NFL. Hopefully that keeps guaranteed contracts out of the NFL just a little longer. And I'm all for players making their money, but
Yep,
at the end of the
but
day,
we still need a
bruh,
product, and
we need a
they got to
product.
remember where they came
Exactly.
from.
Yeah,
They got to remember where
we
they came
need a
from.
legitimate product. And I know that to an extent, the NBA and the NFL and all these players and all this, they're fighting the same battle that a lot of people are fighting. With this idea of it's a lot of product that's being put out. It's a lot of like you got podcasts, you got a lot of stuff that you can watch, right? So that's you competing against a lot of shit. Where when we grew up, all you had was cable TV. That was your
Mhm.
only competition. So I get it. I get it. Like you got competitors, and people ain't buying. Everybody's streaming stuff, sometimes illegally. So trust me, I get that they're fighting that battle too. When you talk about the NBA, but you still got to give us at least a good product. People are still gonna come watch your product if it's actually decent. So you've lost some of those fans that want to watch basketball, but just can't. It's tough. It's a tough watch. So on top of you having the content battle that you have, now you also have a bad product on the floor. So I think that's the biggest problem with the NBA right now. Biggest problem with the NBA right now. You got anything else you want to go over?
Nah, man, I just want to about to wrap it up here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're gonna get back at it this week. We sometime this week.
Wednesday.
We gotta have a Super
Wednesday.
Bowl preview.
Yeah, Wednesday.
We're gonna get
Definitely
back
got
at
to
it
go.
sometime this week. Yeah, because I when we do our Super Bowl show, I got some stuff for y'all, boy. Shout out to the
Definitely
Fresh
want
Prince.
to definitely want to
Shout out
thank
to the Fresh
everybody for
Prince.
tuning in. Definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody for staying with us, man. We're definitely gonna try to give y'all some more content. Coming this coming Wednesday, we're gonna do our picks for
This week.
for the Super Bowl. For the Super Bowl, hopefully we'll have Al on there too. To give his little spiel because I know he want to rant about Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson and all kind of stuff.
Oh, please talk about
His
Jalen Hurts. I'm
his
ready.
his feelings on black quarterbacks. So we definitely got to get into that. But thank y'all, man. We out.